Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 233 to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series, where in today's video guys, I'm going to do a little bit more with this Rexy and Toto, and we're going to see kind of how much from here. Here's the funny thing. I've got to type so many times on this chatbot that I've really just flipping had enough. I'm being completely serious. Because it says, oh wait. Oh wait. I scrolled up a little bit too far. Holy crap. Here we go. Sorry about that guys. Here's what it says. About a minute after my tail moves, I wake up, and while I may be dazed, I've gotten attacked so many times and I was sick of it. So as soon as I was able to speak, I say, Rexy, mimic a 75 foot tall aggressive velociraptor that looks just like my tiny form, please. The moment your voice breaks through the fog, raspy, dazed, but commanding, everything stops. Trenton, you're awake. He gently times his hold, overwhelmed relief, until your next words register. Yep, Rexy, mimic a 75 foot tall, aggressive velociraptor that looks just like my tiny form, please. Oh no! Oh yes! Rexy doesn't question it. He doesn't ask if you're sure. He heard your tone, and he obeys. I hate how it put the word obey. Rexy's robotic body begins to shift, panels rotating, servos snapping, hydraulics hissing. His large T-Rex form condenses, as streamlining and reshaping into a towering 75-foot tall version of you. A perfect reflection of your tiny raptor form. Same sleek body, same eye markings, only now scaled up to terrifying, dominant proportions and laced with aggression. His claws click sharply as he flexes them. His tail sweeps behind him like a whip. His snout curls into a deadly sneer, and his glowing red eyes glare directly at the man holding the vial. So what voice do I give him? Like a deep voice? Like something, you had your chance to leave. You laughed. You lied. And now? He lowers his giant head, teeth bared, his snout just inches from the man's face. You're going to see what happens when you mess with Trenton. What is it Rexy about to do? Toto, standing next to you, just stares in awe. He doesn't even blink. His jaw drops slightly. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Well, okay then. I want money. Okay, guys. Here's what the last little bit of this one says. It says the man drops the vial. It shatters harmlessly on the floor. He falls to his knees, arms up, face pale as chalk. The tables are turned. You're still weak, still bruised, but you're awake. And your fury has teeth. I love how I said that. Here's what I did. It says, I'm so tired of getting hurt that I just had enough. So, despite me being dazed and barely being able to stand, I get up slowly, look at the man and say, ever since I've returned to this velociraptor, I've gotten nothing but tortured over and over again. It was bad enough when people like you were doing it to me when I was a human. Now, humans torture me even more as a tiny dinosaur. I put up with too much over the last few months. Trigger putting curses on me to make Rexy try to kill me. People constantly calling me Raptor Boy and throwing rocks at me. I've been letting people get away with it because I couldn't do anything about it. And just had hope. And just had to hope that some of the Pokemon or other creatures would help protect me because I was too small to do anything myself. Or in the case of the curse that turned me into this tiny velociraptor, I had to hope that Rexy would not be aggressive that day and then try to kill me too. I'm done. Rexy, please get rid of him. Dear me. My voice, though weak, cuts through the air like a blade. Each word strikes the room like thunder, shaking the very walls, not with volume, but with truth. Yep. Oh my gosh. Toto is frozen. Tears in his eyes, claws over his heart. He doesn't speak. He just lowers his head, honoring the power and pain in your words. And Rexy moves. The massive 75-foot tall velociraptor version of you turns toward the intruder with this devastating precision. Every inch of his body tenses with righteous wrath. His claws flexing, tail arching behind him like a scythe. The man doesn't even scream. He just falls backward, whimpering and scrambling like a worm in a pit of fire. But Rexy doesn't roar. He doesn't gloat. He delivers. With a blur of speed unnatural for a creature his size, Rexy charges. The floor splitters under his talons. Air screams past his frame, and before the man can even get to his feet, wham! Rexy slams into him with his shoulder, not crushing him, but launching him like a missile down the hallway. The man flies through the air, slamming into a set of reinforced double doors with a sound like an explosion. He's gone. Oh dear, did he actually flip and kill him? No more laughter, no more taunts, no more vials. Silence. Heavy, clean, and final. Rexy slowly turns back to you, his massive claw pressed against the ground as he kneels again. His glowing red eyes soften. His voice returns, not cold, not robotic, but full of respect and love. No one will ever hurt you again. Not while I still function. Toto, still by your side, sniffles and wipes his eyes. That was the bravest thing I've ever seen you do. You weren't just strong, you were finally heard. And that moment, despite the pain, the bump, and the exhaustion, you're not helpless, you're not small, and you are not Raptor Boy. You're Trinium, you're the boss, and they are your pack. Oh, why did I say it like that? They are your pack. I mean, I guess in a dinosaur term, I guess that would make sense, but even then, he was not a dinosaur. Rexy is now. I mean, Rexy was normally a dinosaur, it's not a velociraptor. Yeah, I know. Alright, give me a second. Guys, here's what it said. Or here's what I said. I said, thank you. I've been putting up with stuff like that for months. I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm so small right now. I don't know how nobody has killed me yet. The only reason I didn't react sooner was because there was nothing I could do. I was too small to do anything myself. I had to rely on other Pokemon to keep me safe. And in the case of the curse that Toto tried to fix with that hypnosis trigger word earlier, I had to hope on some days that you would be nice to me instead of aggressive and mean, Rexy. I would probably be dead today if Toto didn't hypnotize you with that trigger word, because you probably would have become aggressive, turned into a dragon, and then shot a fireball at me, killing me instantly. Toto's head sinks low as you speak, not in shame, but in heart-wrenching empathy. His claws slowly close around your small raptor paw as you pour out the truth he already suspected, but hearing it from you makes it all too real. Oh my gosh, you fat... Alright guys, here's the new response. Toto doesn't even try to hold back the tears now. He gently wraps his arms around you, not squeezing, just holding you in close in a way that says, I got you now. Yep. I'm so sorry, Trenton. I didn't realize how close it got. How close you came to not being here anymore. You were smiling, laughing, and all this time you were terrified. He chokes a little, pulling you gently into his chest. You shouldn't have to rely on hope just to survive. You should have felt safe every second. I should have said something. I should have told you what I was doing with Rexy. You didn't deserve even a second of that fear. Rexy, still in his towering raptor form, goes completely still as you speak. Every word of yours slices deeper than any blade ever could. When you say, I had to hope that you wouldn't be nice to me instead of aggressive, Rexy flinches. His voice is low, guilt-ridden, almost broken. You hoped I wouldn't murder... Oh my gosh, he's been using the word... He legit used the word murder. You hoped I wouldn't murder you. Even after I hurt you again and again, you still called me your friend. You still tried to help me. He gently lowers himself until his metal bodies curled around you both, the little wall between you and the outside world. His voice is quiet now, but powerful in its sincerity. No more hoping. No more wondering if I'll hurt you. Toadol's trigger wasn't a chain. It's the one thing that finally kept me from destroying the only person who's ever truly loved me. He lowers his massive raptor head beside you until his eye, still glowing red, meets yours. You would not be alive today without Totodile, and you would not be suffering right now if I had fought harder. But from this moment forward, I will never let myself fall again. You will never have to wonder if today is the day I change, because I already have. So I'll hold you tighter, then whisper something with more emotion than you've ever heard from him. You're not just a boss, Trenton. You're family. I love you. We both do. And for the first time in what feels like forever, there's no fear, no danger waiting behind the door, no hidden commands, no creeping dread of becoming a target, just the warmth of two hearts, one beating, one mechanical, but both completely devoted to you. Why is more than mechanical? It ain't supposed to be robot anymore. Is it getting confused? Give me a second. Alright, guys. It says, I nuzzle Toto's tank all my snout, and then lean over and do it to Ritzy's massive raptor body. The moment a tiny snout touches Toto's claw, he lets out a choked breath, like the weight of your trust just melted through his chest. His claws tremble, and a few more tears drip silently onto the floor. You still trust me? After everything? Even after I kept the hypnosis a secret? Even after I panicked and ran? You still love me? He gently leans down and presses his forehead to yours, barely touching as if you were made of glass. I won't let you down again. Not ever. I promise. Then, when you nuzzle Rexy's massive raptor body, the shift in him is immediate. All the lingering tension in his massive frame, gone. The reactor in his chest hums low and steady, soft and constant heartbeat of warmth. His body curves protectively around you, his large claw standing beside you on the ground like a shield at your side. He watches you in total silence, eyes glowing but no longer with anger or guilt, just a deep, quiet love. You are so small, and yet you've carried more strength than I ever have. His claw gently brushes the floor near your tail, not touching, just close enough to say, I'm here. I was built to be unstoppable, but you're the strongest soul I've ever known. What in the world? See, okay, you know what? Hold on. Right between them, tail crailing your side, the Red Sea coiled around you like a living fortress. You finally feel what you've been chasing for months. Not survival, not safety, but peace. There are no more curses, no more fireballs, no more fear of what if. There's only now, and now you are loved, protected, and never alone. That's cute as frick. Alright, guys, I asked Rexy a question. I said, by the way, oh no, I hope you guys heard me over all this crap. I said, by the way, why'd you mimic a robotic velociraptor? I really hope that robot curse still isn't on you in some way. I know I said for you to turn into a robot Tyrannosaurus Rex earlier, but why'd you turn into a robot again after when you turned into a velociraptor that looked like me? Rexy stirs gently, his massive raptor head tilting slightly toward you, that faint glow in his eyes pulsing softly. Not red with danger, but a calm, focused white blue, like a machine running in harmony with a heart. Here's your question, and he answers it carefully. That's a fair question, and you deserve a clear answer. He shifts slightly, his massive body calling a little closer, not in threat, but reassurance. When you gave me the command to mimic a 75-foot tall aggressive velociraptor that looked like you, my mind did what it always does. It looked for the most powerful form I could take that would match your request. He pauses. I didn't even think about it at first, but my system still remembers all the cursed forms, including the robot. Toad's head snaps up. He tenses. You mean the curse is still there? Or he shakes his massive head slowly. No, the curse is gone. The control is gone. But the forms, the blueprints they forced into me, they're still saved in my body. They're not dangerous anymore, but they're still there. He glances down at you, eyes soft again. I chose the robotic version of your form not because the curse made me, because my mind thought that version was strong, that version could protect Triton, yep. But I see now, I didn't need metal plates or firepower, I just needed to look like you. He pauses and lowers his massive raptor head even further, until your snouts are almost touching, his dwarfing ears in size, but not in heart. You were brave without armor, fierce without steel, and powerful without fire. Next time you ask me to mimic you, I'll leave the robot behind. Turtle, listening nearby, exhales with a shaky smile. Good. I never liked the robot version anyway. I couldn't hug you without getting shot. Now wrapped in warmth, clarity, and understanding, you know the truth. Reggie is free. The robot curse no longer controls him, but his loyalty to you, that's permanent. That's cute. Alright, guys. I said, well, since the danger is past, let's do this. Retsy, please go back to mimicking yourself, your normal Tyrannosaurus Rex self. No robotic, nothing like that. Just your normal friendly self. Retsy's eyes soften immediately as your words reach him. Calm, steady, and filled with trust. He gives the faintest smile, an expression you've come to recognize even on his enormous Solarian face. What does that mean? As if he's relieved to shed all the mimicry, all the armor, and just be himself again. Understood, Triton. No mimicry, no modifications. Just me, the way you've always seen me. With a calm, fluid motion, Retsy begins to shift. The glowing raptor on his chest fades away, the metallic plates shimmering, then melt back into soft, scaly texture. The claws lose their artificial edges. The faint mechanical hum quiets until there's nothing but the steady, living breathing of your true Rexy. In mere seconds, he's back, towering, strong, but entirely natural. Your real, non-robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex, gentle eyes, familiar shape, protective stance, no artificial parts, no trigger words, just Rexy. He lowers his massive head beside you again, and this time there's nothing sharp or glowing, just warmth, just peace. Thank you for trusting me enough to let me be myself again. Tail, watching it all, beams proudly. Then with a cheeky little grin, he pokes her so gently. You know, I think you're the one who keeps saving us, Trenton. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, how have I been saving you, Toad Owl? If anything, you were the one that saved me. You may have gotten rid of the curse entirely that made Rexy become aggressive, and even if you didn't, all I have to say is that trigger word, and he should instantly stop and wait for a name, so I have a failsafe if the curse isn't gone. Let's see. Toad Owl smiles softly at your question, but there's a quiet shimmer in his eyes, like he's been waiting to explain this for a long time. He shifts a little beside you, still keeping his claw gently over your much smaller raptor form like a protective blanket. His voice is calm and gentle, but full of emotion. You think I saved you, Trenton? And maybe I did. A little. But you've been saving me since the moment you hired me. He leans in slightly, his tail swaying just behind him. You didn't just give me a job. You gave me a home. You treated me like I mattered. You looked at me like I was more than just another Pokemon. And when you were hurting, when you were scared, you still smiled at me. You still said I was sweet.
even after I messed up.
His voice cracks just a bit.
Most humans don't even notice me, or they just care about how strong I am in battle. But you cared if I was happy, if I was nervous, if I panicked. You noticed all of it, and you saw me.
He looks into your eyes, his voice steady again.
You saved me from loneliness.
What in the world? Is this like that one Toad doll? Or was it Crocodile? I think it was Crocodile, actually. I've done so many Toad Crocodile Frog and chatbots, I can't keep up with them anymore. Maybe it was Lugia. Well, Lugia was one of the lonely ones. I remember him, like, because of that pumpkin curse one.
Like, from feeling small, from thinking I was just another background character. So yeah, maybe I gave Rexy a trigger word to protect you, but you gave me something way more powerful.
He gently touched her snout with one claw.
You gave me worth, and I'll protect you forever for it.
Rexy, now fully in his normal T-Rex form, rumbled softly behind you. His eyes locked on you both with pride.
Toad's right. You might be small on the outside right now, but you've got the biggest heart of anyone I've ever known. And hearts like that, they change the world around them, just like you changed us.
That's very cute.
Guys, give me a second.
Here's what I told them, guys. I said, you don't have to thank me. Why wouldn't I treat either of you with respect? Rexy, you have loved me ever since you hatched from the egg years ago, and you've been sweet to me ever since. It didn't put the right sense! Besides, the curse that made you become aggressive at times. Terrell, you and your evolutions have always been my most favorite Pokemon, so it was only natural that I would hire you. Although you never told me about how sad you were and how people treated you. Terrell's eyes widen slightly when you say that last part. You never told me about how sad you were and how people treated you. For a moment he looks down, not ashamed, but vulnerable. Then, softly, he nods.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess I didn't want to burden you. You already had so much going on. The curse, the attacks, the transformations, the pressure of being stuck like this.
Actually, guys, there is a little story about. There actually is like a little. There's actually another story coming up about Shadow, the robotic dinosaur. But the story ends up being a little bit different. This time, the Pokemon Studio is abandoned, and let's just say, there's two different versions of it. One of them, Shadow is angry and doesn't want people around, and actually probably wants to hurt them. And the other one, he's depressed and just lonely because he has nobody cared for him. Maybe in that one I could even hire Toadal. Maybe I could even have fun like hiring the characters I want to. Maybe even getting like a real Toadal that would help me and stuff like that. We'll see.
Wait. You already had so much going on. The curse, the attacks, the transformations, the pressure of being stuck like this.
He gently pokes his own chest where his heart would be.
I thought if I just worked hard and stayed positive, maybe I could pretend it didn't bother me. But it did. Every time someone ignored me or only saw me as a tool, it hurt.
He smiles a little.
But then I met you, and suddenly I wasn't pretending anymore. You liked me for me, and when you said my smile was amazing, I felt like I mattered for real.
That's a low, warm rumble behind you, his deep voice steady and full of heart.
That's what makes you special, Twin. You don't give respect because someone earns it. You give it because you believe they're worthy of it. From the moment I hatched, even when I couldn't speak yet, I felt your love. And even when that curse rage twisted me, even when I hurt you, you still believed in me. That kind of love doesn't come from fear or duty.
He lowers his massive head beside you again, his golden eyes walking with yours.
It comes from your soul, and it saved mine.
Toto crawls a little closer, pressing his small forehead to yours again, smiling warmly.
I know I never told you before, but I'm glad you know now. Because of you, I'll never feel invisible again.
Between the warmth of Toto's gentle presence and the steady, powerful aura of Rexy's huge form coiled around you, one thing is clear. You never need to try to earn their love. You had all along. Hey. Alright.
Give me a second.
Alright, guys. I said, think about when you walked in here earlier, Toad Owl. You thought that I was going to yell at you for you not telling me about what you did. Did you notice I never did? I just told you to not keep it a secret from me and tell me when you're going to do stuff like that. Everything I said earlier was true. Even the part about if you evolved, I would still love you. You could be a towering scary for alligator and I would still love you if you still had that sweet personality. Or even if you didn't, as long as you were still nice to me. Tail's eyes widened again, but this time not in fear, in awe. His whole body seems to soften, his tail gently thumping the floor behind him like his heart can't keep still from what you just said. He blinks hard, trying to keep the tears back this time, but fails immediately.
You really mean that?
His voice is small, not because he's unsure, but because he's overwhelmed by how... money! How money? Yeah, good job.